Hey math kids, today we're going to talk more about these volume formulas that are on the screen. I realized in the last video part of one of them was cut off. I'm sorry about that. Here they are if you need to see them. Let's jump right into this. So we have a cone that's acting as a funnel, and the radius of the cone looks like that. The height of the cone is like that, and r is equal to h. The radius is the same as the height. Now what happens is we fill this with sand and it falls into a cylinder, and the cylinder has the same thing going on. The radius and the height are equal to each other, and they're also equal to the dimensions in the cone. How much empty space is left over in the cylinder after it is filled with sand from the cone? So basically, we just need to find the volume of this and find the volume of this and compare it to see how much would be in each one. Okay, so if we just take the cone is going to be volume is equal to pi, and I'm going to pick h as the, because r is equal to h, so I'm going to replace r with h. Okay, and if I simplify that, that's going to be h cubed times pi over 3. So it's the volume of the cone. Now, if I find the volume of the cylinder, I get volume equals pi h squared times h. Once again, I'm replacing the r in the formula with an h. And so the volume is pi h cubed, which I could also write as h cubed pi. And notice that this formula, or this answer and this answer, the only difference is the cone is divided by 3. And so the sand would only fill up 1/3. If I divided that into 1/3, it would only fill up 1/3 of the total. Okay. Okay, now we're going to look at this other one. So what is the volume in cubic centimeters of the cylinder to the right? Oh, it's a right cylinder. Okay. So we have a right cylinder. We're told that the diameter is 8 centimeters, and we're shown almost like a hypotenuse to a right triangle, like that. And the hypotenuse of that right triangle is, let's see, let's not do that. I'm going to use different numbers than what I gave you on the homework. Let's do 5 centimeters, and we'll do this one 10 centimeters, the hypotenuse. Okay, so this does create a right triangle, and so we can find the height of the cylinder by using the Pythagorean Theorem. So if we have a squared plus b squared equals c squared, c is 10, then we have 5 and h. So it's going to be 25 plus h squared equals 100. I'm going to subtract 25. So h squared is going to be equal to 75. We square root. Since it's a height, we don't need to do plus or minus. Height is the square root of 75, which we can do 75 raised to the 0.5, and that is 8.66. Since these are all measured in centimeters, the height would also be centimeters. But the final answer they want is volume. And so now we have a cylinder, we have the height, and we can find the radius. The radius would be half of this, so it's going to be 2.5 centimeters. And we can use this and this with the cylinder formula. So V is equal to pi r, which is 2.5 squared, times the height, which is 8.66. So I'm going to go back to my calculator. I'm going to use the full version of my 8.66. So I'm just going to say times, and now I'm going to do 2.5 squared, and then I'm going to multiply that by pi, and I get 170. And once again, it's measured in centimeters, and this is volume, so it would be centimeters cubed. All right, let's try another one. Actually, the next ones are really similar to the ones we already did, so I'm going to stop right there. If you have additional questions, please come to Math Lab. Until then, calculate.